WNYC Studios is supported by Car Care To Go. We all know the hassle of getting an oil change or car repair. Car Care To Go saves you time and stress. They pick up your car, repair it, and bring it back to you all with the click of a button. Schedule now at carcaretogo.com and use code WELCOME25 for $25 off any service. That's carcaretogo.com and use code WELCOME25 for $25 off any service.
WNYC Studios is supported by Forward. Waiting months for a 10-minute doctor's appointment? Healthcare is backwards. Luckily, Forward is here to clear things up with on-demand access to great care backed by the latest tech and top-rated doctors. Learn more at goforward.com. That's goforward.com.
Listener supported. WNYC Studios.
It's the Brian Lehrer Show on WNYC. Good morning, everyone. We are coming into the show in an unusual way today, not with our usual theme, as you can hear, but with music performed by members of the New York Youth Symphony, because we're not doing a regular Brian Lehrer Show today. We've all been looking for ways to commemorate the one-year anniversary of when the pandemic really started in our area, and today we're making our contribution. This intro music was contributed by Trilogy, a chamber ensemble of the New York Youth Symphony. That's Olivia Pantoga on violin, Lila Holyoke on cello, and Riley Barker on piano, helped by Tomoko Fujita, their coach. It's Shostakovich's piano trio in C minor. And it was 1 year ago today, March 16th, that the New York City public schools went all remote. That was a big turning point locally, of course, for so many families and staff. It was also a year ago today that many of my colleagues and I at WNYC began broadcasting from home. We'll be doing education segments all week in conjunction with the school's anniversary, but we decided to mark the occasion of today by using this space to hold a memorial of sorts for the nearly 30,000 New York City residents and thousands more throughout our area who died this past year from COVID-19. Today's show is our attempt at creating ritual to honor the lives that have been lost and to honor the people in our community who are grieving those losses personally. What we will hear today we call reading their names. And here's what it is. While there is no official list of the local people who have died, our colleagues at the city, that's the nonprofit news organization, the city, have crowdsourced a list of 1,780 names as part of a project called Missing Them. Some of you will remember that here at the Brian Lehrer Show a while back, we invited you to be the ones reading those names. 445 of you signed up and read 4 names each. I took my turn with the rest of you, and I'm somewhere in this recording we're about to hear. And because we took all those readings and strung them together, the result is the nearly 90 minutes that we're going to broadcast right now. To be clear, these names represent just a small percentage of those we've lost right here in the listening area, but this is the list that our partners at the city were able to compile and confirm. So listen with us if you can. You don't have to listen to the whole thing, of course, but maybe take a few minutes to stop and hold this space with us. If you've lost somebody or more than one somebody, we mourn with you now, and may your memories give you strength someday, if not today. And we begin our reading of the names.
Evelyn Bulcock, Charles Burrows, Etta Rebecca Bush, Juan M. Cavens.
Ingrid Mohammed Warner, Clinton Washington, Willis Cephas Mark Washington Jr., Lila Charlotte Sweetelson Wiseman,
Annunziata Sahid, Eve Sajou, Alexandra Sachs, Maria Salaman,
Leon J. McKnight Jr., Enos McCoy, Elvester McCoy, Kathleen Elizabeth McNulty,
Francis H. Barry, Sharon Bascom, Ejaz Mohammed Bashir,
Dr. Doug Bass.
Michael Halkias, Ronald Hall, Leroy Pops Hammett, Wynn Handman,
Jose Maria Palaguachi, Maria Esther Palaguachi Cusco, Bogdan Palka, Luz Palomino,
Lee Konitz, Deborah Korzynski, Andreas Andy Kutsudakis, Sr., Adam Kovacs,
Frank Lumini, Raul Luna, Margareta H. Margot Lundell, Maureen Patricia Lunny,
Robert Bob Zolnarak, Rose Zubo, Willie Zamaran, Manuel Zana,
Charles H. Beatty, Ketty Bobian, Yannick Rose Bobrin, Yannick Bobrin,
Leroy Mirage, Gary Marbury, Carla Marcello, Mordecai R. Marcus,
Denny Gilliam, Herschel Ginn, Lottie Lucille Gladden, Phoebe Gladstone,
Harold Germain, Ferdy Amory German, Alexander Chiguerdo, Kenneth Gillespie,
Antonio Suarez, Raymond Sugrim, Karn Veer Suri, Chai Suvamanont,
Lorenzo Jacques Thagard, Robert Faring, Anthony Tony Thomas, William Thomas,
Concepcion Fuentes, Patricia Fuentes, Jamie E. Fuentes, Valerie Fulton,
Ismael Cabrera, Miguel Angel Calderon, Carmen M. Calero, Danny Camacho,
Arlene Stringer Cuevas, Raymond Stripe, Lillian Stujenski, Richard J. Sturgis,
Kevin P. Rossiter, Alberto Rotura, Abdur Roof,
Jay Hyman, Rose Mary Infantino, Anthony R. Irachi, Bria Garces, Tita Bria Geraldine,
Augustin Salvador, Juan Sanabria, Pedro Sanchez, Julio Sanchez,
Judith Lowen, Ray Lucchesi, Eladio Lucero, Alberto Lucero,
Donahue Vargas, Siriaco Rolando Vasquez, Juan Vasquez,
James Michael Beleco, Willand Elvis Vilmi, David Vine, Svetlana Vinokur,
Ale Martin, Jorge San Martin, Romarico Ramon Martinez, Alfredo Martinez,
Olga Vasquez, Juan Vasquez, Franz Vital, Ada Mae Void Rivers,
Harold John Solomon Jr., Sukraj Sukchan, Michael David Sorkin,
John Jones, Donald Jones, Horatio Jordan, Pearson Jordan,
Pick Chai Chang, Rosemary Grillo Clementi, Stephen A. Cooper, Ruth Mazick, Deacon Corbett, Corbett.
Joan S. Raines, Gary Ramdat, Budlino Ramirez, Jose Ramon,
Priscilla Sweet Pea Caro, Leonard Carter, Paul David Carey, Aurelio Casilla,
Jerry Ellen Billis, Mustafizer Rahman Baipa, Raphael Leonard Black, Anna Blades,
Maria Mercedes Milan, Miriam Miller, Shirley Miller, James Milton.
This is Brian Lehrer on WNYC, and you're listening to Reading Their Names. These are the names of 1,780 people in our community who died this year in the pandemic, and you're hearing the voices of over 400 WNYC listeners reading their names.
Lloyd Osborne, Ramon Osoria, Francisco Pacheco,
Stephen Joseph Ripken, Carol Ryer, Francisco Saavedra, Johnny Sabater,
Leland Jordan, Deborah C. Joseph Saunders, Joseph E. Joe Joyce, Johnny Joyner,
Jules Taylor Jr., Roberto Tejada, Lafayette Terrell, Benildo Tejera,
Betty Shane, Ula Shariat, Abraham Avi Shironi, J. Edward Ed Shaw,
Johnny Lee Baines, Thomas Beals, Donald Beard, Sylvester Beasley,
Patrick J. Glenn, Elsa Gomez, Rosario Gonzalez, Mark J. Goodman,
Sebastian Francis Pepe, Alba Perea, Miriam Perez, Milagros Perez,
Arnett Mitchell, Fernando Nick 707 Mitef, Rahman Mizanur, Manuel Mishkiri,
Walter L. Ants, Walter Ants, Olga Anchumbia, William Anderson,
Scott Elijah, Bertina Ellis, Jean Emil, Yeshaya Englard,
Frank Taormina, Lucille D. Tapp, Doreen Tay, Virginia Barron Taylor,
Nathan Nate Nat Allman, Ismael Almodovar, Jeffrey Alston, Emel Alvarado,
Macario Quispe Gallegos, Philip Rahim, Muhammad Rahman, Muhammad Rahman,
Richard Mauricio Salinas Sanchez, Daniel Sanchez, Gennaro Sanchez, Jose Luis Sanchez Perez,
Manuel Macias Yepa, Richard T. Zaib, Avremi Zakan, Serena Zalmanovich,
Ranulfo Cortez, Peter Michael Costa, Judith L. Colston, Ezekiel Zeke Cousins,
Joel S. Goldberg, Rabbi Yaakov Mordecai Goldberg, Rabbi Bruce Goldman, Lev Goyabov, Jose Lema, Angel Leon, John C. Leonard, Frank Leong,
Hector Romaine, Salvatore Romeo, Pablo Gustavo Rosas, Brian Keith Sadler,
Dr. Guido Vogovici, Joseph Daniel Volsi, Kanavarovich, John Walter,
Fernando Morales Gonzalez, Salvador Moran, Carlos Moreno, Imelda Moreno Lucero.
James Watkins, Walter Watson, Ronice Watson, Urel Watts.
Vanessa Burkett, Verdree Burns Jr., Michelle Burrell, Eduardo Bustamante,
Mahmouda Shaheen, Joel Lawrence Shotsky, Carmen Silva, Rosemary Rory Cisco.
Anna Ortez, Paniotis Peter Paniotu, Robert Papique, Maria Rosa Pirelli,
Manuel Lima, Anil Suba Ramesh Sambahamfe Limbu, Pidio Linares, Shirley Lindsay.
Martin Bond, Dolores Boone, Robert Booth, Donald C. Borbell Sr.,
Pierre Paul Rodriguez, Dr. Ivan Rodriguez Sr., Ruben Rodriguez, William Rodriguez,
Eric Chazanoff, Daniel Chavez, Manuel Victor Chavez, Jose A. Fuentes Chavez,
Richard Stewart Johnson, Avinash Takdari, Gustavo Petuz Tapia, Rosemary Rosie Terrio,
Leroy Marat, Gary Marbury, Carla Marcello, Mordecai R. Marcus,
Richard G. Klein Sr., Yosef Zvi Klein, Alex Klein, Charles Kleinberg,
Marcia Kramer, Madeline Kripke, Melissa Marie Krupa, Rabbi Moshe Qualbrun,
Sergio Aguilar, Ramberto Aguilar, Rashida Ahmed, Kamal Ahmed,
Marilyn Aklufi, Luis Acosta, Lauro Acuna, Eugene Adams,
Maria Mendoza, Walter Mendoza, Maria Carla Mercator, Alan Merrill,
Lucian George Sr., Patricia George, Michael Gerasi, William H. Bill Gertz,
Carlos Andrade Hidalgo, Ricardo Hill, Josephine Hill, Clinton Hines,
Shaking Psycho Arndale, Donald Arrington, Beverly Arts, Ya A. Asante,
Loretta Washington, Pauline Washington, Thomas J. Tom Waters, Evelyn Watkins,
Moishe Grunwald, Maria Zoila Guaman, Jorge Guaman, and Edwin Guaman.
Upadi Kob Kul Bunseri, Ann Cheevers Kolb, Nathan Kolodny, Shlomo Titzvi Koenig,
Dr. Reza Chowdhury, David Ronald Christian, Rashmi Christian, Scott Christian Raggins,
Govinda Andiapan, Sabino Andrade, Salvatore Andreatti, Gregory Andrews,
Ed Holder, Michael D. Holly, Phyllis Susan Holly, Babette Sullen Hollister,
Tazin Rashid, Haruna Rashid, James D. Jim Reed, Wesley Reed,
Anna Buccellato, Ishmael Birch, Tyson Burgess, Irene Renee Bergonio,
Jose Lema, Angel Leon, John C. Leonard, Frank Leong,
Erwin Feldman, Donald Feldstein, Miguel J. Feliciano, Mikel Felimin,
Noreen Johnson, Robert Johnson, Shelley Johnson, Joan Johnson.
Mario Rosa. Primo Reyes Rosales. Jose Rosales. Maria Mercedes Rosario.
Charles H. Beatty. Ketty Bobian. Yannick Rose Bobrun.
Jose Flores. Omara Flores. Remigio Rosales Flores. Christian Flores de Lim.
This is Brian Lehrer on WNYC, and yes, this is the Brian Lehrer Show, but what you're hearing today is reading their names, 445 WNYC listeners, reading the names of 1,780 members of our community who have died in this pandemic year. This is our attempt to hold space for the more than 25,000 people in our listening area who are gone and for everyone who is grieving personal loss. Hold the space with us for a few minutes if you can, and if you can't, if it's too hard, we'll do it for you. Come back tomorrow.
Muriel A. Callender, Raul Cambian, Shirley Kemble, Gregorio Kempis,
Rogelio Justiniano Sr., Farida Ann Kadwani, Bezalel Kahan, Philip Kahn,
Pedro Flores, Antoinetta Florio, Verona Fraser, Shaimik Regine Fraser,
Hector Cabana, Maria Guia, also known as Mama Guia Caballon, Marlino T. Kagis, Kevin John Cahill,
Ali Ali, Ahmed Ali, Mohammed Yusuf Ali, Ismat Ali,
Gwendolyn Bailey, Gil, the godfather of Caribbean radio, Bailey, Molita Elizabeth Flynn Baker, Marianne Baker,
Gilbert Rios, Zisha Ritterman, Miguel Rivera, Hilda Rivera,
Vadim Ivalev, Colin Azabajua, Chris Jakowski, Henry Arthur Jackson,
Claude James, Lester James, Jay Jankelowitz, Jorge Hada,
Sankachan Mati, Esteban Matos, Alan Matza, Elizabeth Betty McCullum,
Doris McRae, Vincent Mead, Juan Medina, Joseph Meller,
Deborah King, Kerwin King, Gwendolyn King, Carol King Grant,
Larry DeVito, Andre Dre DeVore, Vito J. Di Benedetto, Yvette Diamond,
Rosella McFarland, Patricia McGowan, Edward Paul McGuire, Michael McIntosh,
George Lopez, Owen Lord, Merville Lewis, Iris Cornelia Love,
Isabella Ann Axelrod,
Lorraine Joy Bagwell,
Farida Bahari,
Yvonne Sandy Benoit,
Richard Lenahan, Richard Litkovsky, Luis Liz, Gerard Evans Manilovici,
J. Natalie La Santa, Khalid Labdul Ahad, Daryl Laborde, Nevi Lacayo,
Rolando Diaz, Freddie Diaz, Dione Diaz, Miguel Diaz,
Alvin Hendricks, Tammy Hendricks, Stanley Hennison, Joseph C. Joe Hennessy,
Diego Chouta, Mutabir Chowdhury, Dawan Afjol Chowdhury, Mohammed Chowdhury,
Do Kwon Yoon, Alexander Young, Robert Young, Dorothy Eulis,
Antonio Pepinella, David Perez, Albert Al Petrocelli Sr., Peter Pinto,
Beatrice B. Gramberg, Miguel the Pasta King Grande, Beverly Rubach Gray, Jenny Aunt Jenny Graziano,
Angela Lewis, Jason Lewis, Tian Liang, Sylvia Nestel Ginger Leaf,
Yolanda Huertero, Mylin Hunt, Mohammed Zakir Hussein, Akmal Hussein Tantu,
Vinicio Donato, Joseph Donofrio, Allison Donovan, Essie Dorsey,
Louise C. MacGyver Barbado Jr., Gaetano Barbieri, Louise S. Barcelo Jr., Virginia Faith Bargon,
Thomas Corey, Jacob Cradell, Christina Tina Daniello, Anthony C. Dazzo,
Olivia Crum, Anita Crumpton, Nelson Cruz, Caesar Cruz,
Darlie Robinson, Ronald Robinson, J.C. Robinson, Miss Janice Rodman,
Franklin V. Ordonez, Frank Orsini, Martha Ortega, Quintino Ortega,
Babul Ahmed, Ufzal Ahmed, Mohammed Hassan, Wilman Aila,
Harry Montalvo, Augustin Montanez, Manuel Montalegre, Marcos Gutierrez Montero,
Vincent J. Vinny Leonti, Louise Lloyd, Teresa M. Lococo Jr., Rocco Lombardo,
Nashome Wooden, Franchette Woodley, Donald Woodson, Dorothy L. Worrell,
Lemuel Boyett Simonson, Rovan Anthony Smith, Janine Soleil, Estelita Atienza Solomon,
Bulger L. Irving Jr., Babul Islam, Shirajul Islam, Leroy Isom,
Indarjit Maharaj, Ralph William Martel Jr., Luis E. Martinez, Yitzhak Matatov,
Rick A. Unterberg, Aldo Uriola, Peter Usino, Jose Urochima,
Cynthia L. Adams, Stanley Albert, Michelle Alexander, Miguel Almirante Jr.,
Miguel Chumpitas, Ernie Chumpitas, Mitty Clark Johnson, Raul Clark,
Fotios Angelopoulos, John D. Pop Anetta, Phyllis Beatrice Antonetts, Edward J. Ed Antonio II,
Roberto Rodriguez, Thomas Rodriguez, Eddie Rodriguez, Romaxi Rojas,
Paul Walters, Jocelyn Walton, Courtney Warren, Neville Warren,
Iris Nieves Mitchell, Tobias Novoa, David Nochera, Leroy Noel,
Margaret Lambert, Erwin Tito Lambrento, Mandela Lamb, Dr. Eli Lando,
Michael Wallace Heron, Cecil Hewitt, Carol Ann Hewitt Hamilton, Pamela Hicks Lewis,
Isabella Ann Axelrod, Lorraine Joy Bagwell,
Farida Bahari, Yvonne Sandy Benoit.
Nicola McIntyre, Allison McKeon, Kalema D. McKeithen, Hirley McKinnon,
Caroline Letty, Libel Letterman, David Lee, Xiao Lee.
Lillian Clowney, Chris Cognato, Eli Cohen, Stuart Cohen.
Charles Harris, Olson Hart, Irina Hartel, Al Haviland.
This is Brian Lehrer on WNYC, and it is the Brian Lehrer Show. You're listening to listeners reading the names of New Yorkers who were lost to COVID-19. This is our memorial. If you can join in acknowledgement of our community loss by listening for a little while, please do. The reading of these names will conclude at about 11:30. Then we'll talk about the experience. Let's continue now.
Gloria Christine Green, Harold Grossman, Juana Grullon de Peña, Miguel Guaman.
Barbarella Rodriguez, Miguel Rodriguez, Edwin Rodriguez, Migdalia Rodriguez.
Ramon Alvarado, Ricardo Alvarado Rivas, Oscar Alvarez, Helene Alion.
Nelson Jenkins, Anik Nick Jesdanin, Peter G. Francisco Arisa Jimenez.
Liz Fontanez, Louise Fonteo, Helen Fort, Arthur Fort.
Julio Pacheco, Emiliano Padilla, Jose Paez, Sad H. Page.
Gabriel Mendez, Alejandro Mendez, Guillermo Mendoza, Brenda Mendoza.
Ernesto Audi de Leon, Pauline Delgado, Anatole de Samores, Marie Charlotte Destin,
Elia Gelbert, Baruch Gelfand, Miguel Gelpi, Fanny Gelpirin,
Peter Schur, Alfred Schwartz, Ernest H. Schwartz, Yakov Shwe.
Mary M. Rizzo, Curtis L. Robertson, Jr., Phyllis Robinson, Edith Robinson.
Dorothy Brunetti, Alex Bruno, Catherine Bruno, Fiore Brusco.
Ramon Carandang, Ifgenia Ifi Cardenas, Luis Cardenas, Roberto Cardona.
Juan Diaz, Norman Neckham Dick, Dennis C. Dixon, Ben Giovanni.
Rabbi Aaron Hirsch Kleinman, Harvey Knight, Felicia Knight, Patrick Antonio Knight.
Joseph Jerome Sneed, Eric S. Sobel, Sharon Sockwell, Jared Sockwell.
Mark Bloom, Eilish Bachner, Manuel Boitel, Michael Angel Bonanno.
Leslie Suluis Verneret, Dr. J. Ronald Verrier, Julian Muniz Vidals, Gonzalo G. Vidanas, Jr.,
Mario J. Pippi Pobega, Syed Rahman, John Red, Melody Reed.
Susan Segundo, Faustina Manzai Slobodian, Reginald Small, Gloria Small Jones.
Carlos Leonardo Pintado,
Jaime Armando Pinzon, Nita Pippins, Angelo Papi Piero,
Michael Besser, Iqbal Haq Bouyan Prince, Claire Bien-Aimé, Reverend Harry Dean Bigby,
Julia Brown, La Richter Brown, Randy Brown, Robbie Brown,
Yaakov Shmuel Freelock, Renee French, Guillermo Willie Freston, Guillermo Freston,
Claudio Malave, Anthony Milano, Robert Mahler, Michael A. Milano,
Edward Frederick Doty, John Dunstan Jr., Bao Yung, Thomas Ecker,
William Wolfe, David Allen Wolin, Morton Wolitzer, Joe Wong,
Mohammad Jaffor,
Beryl Bernay, David Joseph Bernstein, Gianmarco Bertolotti, Betzalel Bertram,
Maria E. Teleco Gonzalez, Jose Martin Romero Gonzalez, Inez Mama T. Gonzalez, Maria Gonzalez,
Hector Garcia, Leon Garrett, Rhonda Garvin, Fernando Garzon,
Manuel J. Wanakisa, Grace Harris, Kenneth Kenny Henderson, Edward Henry,
Orlando Moncada, Carlos Moncayo, Christopher Mondal, Diodoro Mongi Guterres,
Steve Hahn, Linda Hansen, Nazmul Haq, Mohammed Haq,
Bafra Spillman, Caleb St. Saurent, Carl Stanberry, Frank Stearns,
Adil Montgomery, Helen Moody, Robert Moody Jr., Ananda Mulya,
Kevin Williams, Kyoto Breeze Williams, Derek Williams, A. Edward Williams III,
Joe Gomez, Luciano Gomez, Saul Gomez, Michael Gomez,
Abul Hossein, Yi Gao Huang, Arthur C. Hurwitz, James L. Hutcherson,
Michael Besser, Iqbal Haq Bouyan Prince, Claire Bien-Aimé, Reverend Harry Dean Bigby,
Benjamin Abramowitz, Rosalie Acampora, Anthony Achan, Kwabena Achampong,
Dr. Gary Sklar, Walter Scott, William Scott, Michael Skura, Idris Bey, Harold James Blake, Anthony Peter Benelli, Pascal Bruno,
Stephen Joel Harding, Reverend Sidney Hargrave, Samuel Sam Hargris Jr., Earl Harris,
Jose Gonzalez, Elena Gonzalez, Andrew Andy Gonzalez, Valerie R. Goodley,
Frederica Nessa Meister, Julio Mejia, Luz Dari Mejia Quiseno, Marie Elizabeth Melendez,
Salvatore Sal Campo, Marcelo Campos, Angel Campos, Francisco Canarte,
John Yasho Dearden, Gaetano Deserto, Andres Diaz, Martha Diaz,
Christian Collin, Maria Maito, Richard Ritchie Comesso, Brunel Connolly,
Joseph R. Chabla, Thomas Tek Kwe Chai, Linford George Chambers, Fat Chan.
Rabbi Chaim Yexeko, Shraga Dahan, John D'Alessandro, Saladin DeLippi, James Edward Daly,
Aristeo Bosques, Kevin Bostick, Patricia Bosworth, Rabbi Eli Botnick,
Crystal Dixon, Cedric George Dixon, Joel Dominguez, Michelle Donaldson.
This is Brian Lehrer on WNYC, and you're listening to Reading Their Names. These are the names of 1,780 people in our community who died this year in the pandemic, and you're hearing the voices of over 400 WNYC listeners reading their names.
Joseph Joe Allo, Etta B. Alston, Dolores Altagracia Mina, Jean Anderson.
Sal Lombardo, Algion London, Michael Joseph Mike Longo, Lydia Lopez.
Frederick Fred the Godson Thomas, Adeline R. Thompson, James Mr. T. Thompson, Michael Thompson Sr.,
Russell Jackson, Patricia Harriet Ms. Pat or Mama Condom Jackson, Virginia Jackson, Emmanuel Jake the Snake Jacob,
Denise Prince, Anucha Promskin, Uriah Price, Paula Price Bremer,
Tracy M. Murchison, Joseph P. Murphy, Eric Murray, Roger Muscati,
Maria Corazon Centrone, Joseph Sarami, Joseph Seriali, Dennis Serato,
David Beerbaum, Dr. Hushang Beiruzi, Hubert Belgrave, Calvin Bell,
Jose Rodriguez Munoz, Saw Thien Sam Mient, Pedro Marquez, Priya Nankishore,
James Watkins, Walter Watson, Ronice Watson, Urel Watts,
Mildred Glazer, Gail Glasgow, James Jimmy Glenn,
Clifton Howell, Laura Howell, Annabelle Howell, Marilyn Howard,
Jane Rosenthal, Mitchell Rosenwasser, Dr. Yves Y. Rossus, Pamela Ross,
Pamela Yvette Haynes, Janet Headley, William Helmreich, Anna Isabel Henao,
Yitzchak Steinberg, Steve Steiner, Ellis James Stevens Jr., Elgin Stevenson,
Eucario Cardoso Pablo, Floyd Cardoz, Lorraine Carlisle, Karen Carmelo,
Cornell Anderson, Willie Anderson, Arthur Anderson, Reynold Anderson Hewitt,
Yitz Adam Friedman, Felicia Friedman, Betty Frunze, née Raymondetta, Freddie Fuentes,
Edward Latourette, Guy Laviniera, Alex Lane, Luis Lebron,
Martin Ibarra, Mohammed Ibrahim, Pietro Fabricio Idrovo Vaza, Leonard D. Imperio,
Chaim Schrute, Yehudis Judith Schubert Finkelstein, John Siegel, Concepcion Silva.
Jerry Balasta, Abraham Balinas, Nicanor Nick Baltazar, Irving Barish.
Sabrina B.B. Jefferson, Bessie Mae Jeffress, Milena Jelinek, Rabbi David Jamal.
Eliama John, Michelle Johnson, Carlisle Johnson, David Johnson,
Jorge Lopez, Owen Lord, Myrtle Luis, Iris Cornelia Love,
Janet Wilkies, Lenora Wilkinson, Elisier Williams, Philip Williams.
Joel Sandel, Richard Richie Santangelo, Elizer Santiago, George Santiago,
Arishan Persaud, David Persaud, Ivan Peter, Michael Peterson,
David Jamal,
Willie Quezada, Elizabeth Kinde, Carlos Arturo Quintero,
Tommy Trawick, Gregory Treadwell, Jose Trinidad, William Troy,
Bonnie Fostner, Dennis Fox, Nelson Manuel Frankney, Alvin Frazier,
Georgina Close, Jersey Klocheski, Anstey Goddard, Karen Goff,
Marilyn M. Venuya, Jose Velasquez, Raymond Velasquez Munoz, Edna Sandy Wackman,
Monroe M.K. Monty Bates II, Salvatore Battaglia, Ethel Bauman, Harvey Bayard,
Joseph F. Kelly, Jr., George William Kelly, Allah M. Khalil, Azar Khan,
Anthony Graffinia, Gregory Graham, Isaac Graham, Kevin Graiani,
Antonio Chaco, Mordechai Lieb Motel Hein, Stanley I. Chera, Gary Cherry Sr.,
Arnold Cherry, Yi-Tang Chung, Ricardo Chacoa, Kelly Child,
Jose H. Rico, Gilbert A. Rios, Danilo Rivas, Manuel Rivera,
Kubi Piggott, Roy Pixer, Lorenzo W. Pinkay, Mario Pina,
Mary Dillard Carter, Michael Demin, Dr. William Tulio Duvall, Dennis C. Dixon,
Mireya Vargas Cardona, Robert Cardona, Raul Auguste Carmona, Marcos Castro,
Curtis Covington, Thomas T.C. Carter Jr., Lindy William Crescatelli, Pablo Criollo,
Michael A. Stevens, Cletus Stewart, Dwayne Edward Stewart, Eileen Stewart,
Arturo Amaro, Frank Amato, Rosemary Amerosi, Ilusha Amenov,
Ruby Laiwan Chang, Lucille Chapman, Lydizi Charles, Mavis Charles,
Joel M. Reed, James W. Reel Jr., Mahmouda Rahman, Rennie Reed,
Myrtle Pollard,
Mark Pompa, Linda Pope, Lloyd Cornelius Porter.
Jamie Asensio, Elpidio Esperos, Rodrigo Astudio, Ruby Atkins,
Juan Leonardo Torres, Teresa Torres, Millie Torres, Miguel Torres.
Pablo Cruz, Zacarias de la Cruz, Gilda Cruz, Irving Cruz.
Luis A. Figueroa, Agatha Fina, Phyllis Fioravanti, Joseph Fletcher.
This is Brian Lehrer on WNYC, and yes, this is the Brian Lehrer Show, but what you're hearing today is reading their names, 445 WNYC listeners, reading the names of 1,780 members of our community who have died in this pandemic year. This is our attempt to hold space for the more than 25,000 people in our listening area who are gone, and for everyone who is grieving personal loss. Hold the space with us for a few minutes if you can, and if you can't, if it's too hard, we'll do it for you. Come back tomorrow.
Zev Stern, Esther Stern, Ira Stern, Robert Steve the Bookman Stevens, Michael A. Stevens, Cletus Stewart, Dwayne Edward Stewart.
Jacqueline Jackie Rowe, Abraham A. Rubashkin, Rabbi Mordecai David Rubin, Frances Roberta Rudland.
Barry Kay, Vincent Kelleher, Karen Kelly, Caius Jordan Jamie Kelly.
Juan Minoso Arujo, Rolando Sunny Aravina, Samuel W. Sam the Fenceman Arbini, Segundo Archibala,
Jose Ricardo Rivera Minan, Isidro Mindiolasa, Gloria Minor, Eduardo Miranda,
Angelo Leota, Florence Levesque, Anna Levine, Yitzhak Levi Awami,
Samir Jalil,
Hugo Vega, Domingo Vega, Alfredo Vegas, Guadalupe Velasquez,
Gil Gonzalez, Maria Bertha Gonzalez, Alfredo Meneses Gonzalez, Frankie Gonzalez,
Adrian Hernandez Lopez, Alejandro Hernandez, Marcos Herrera, Haley Marie Herrera,
Victor Zapata Sr., Alex Zapata, Carmen Zapata, Dr. Sereno R. Zapala,
Ursula Flowers, Philip Foglia, Stanley Fond, Catherine Font,
Vincent Mesa, Alfredo Doroja Hun Mescallado Jr., Anna Messina, Allison Mestel Shapira,
Rosemary C. Guerrero, Ali Dennis Guillermo, Daniel Guillermo, Joannalie Guinness,
Claire Roquish, Franklin Rolando, Miguel Roldan, Des Ann Romaine,
Anthony Tony Terrio, Joan Terrero, Phyllis Ann Thompson, Joseph Tranchina,
Eresmildo Catiblanco, Anthony Calci, Hesroni St. Anthony Cayenne, Salome Casares,
Eresmildo Castiblanco, Juan Castillo,
Bel Isidro Onofre Castillo, Hector Castillo Mendez,
Maria Adiela Hernandez, Jose A. Hernandez, Jr., Ernesto Hernandez, Gregory Hodge,
Benjamin Smalls, Jim Smith, Tommy Smith III, Corrine Smith,
Alan Schoenberg, Michael A. Skura, Richard C. Seabury, Jody G. Settle,
Muhammad Saiful Haider, Ajad Khan, Advocate Hayat Ali Khan, Saiful Khan, Syed Khatun,
Arthur Artie Nelson, Kane Kenny Noel, Ronald O'Laughlin, Manuel J. Meme Ortiz,
Fernando Gallego, Robert Galetta II, Necesitas Galura, Eduardo Genkeco,
Ronnie Reed, Reynard Rembert, Mark Remolino, Dr. Mark Allen Restler,
Louis Boye Rivera, Louis Sonny Rivera, Juan Rivera,
Donald Philip McComb, John McCormack, Lorena Laurie McDonald, John McDonald,
Joel Revson, Jose Reyes, Ramon Reyes, Eugenio Reyes, Adelila M. Engsong, David Ernst, Alfredo Espinal, Felix Espinal,
Louis Schmidt, Patricia A. Schmidt, Zvi Yehuda Schmidt, Fatima Schmidt,
Yakara Beauvoir, Eduardo Antonio Becerril, Walter Beckett, Jahanara Begum,
Mary Ellen Porter, Karina Cherry Portillo, Lenin Portillo, Omar Portillo,
Victor Fataruso, Levi Falk, Joseph Feingold, Joseph Felder,
Alyssa Pantelieri, Keong Hay Park, Joyce Elaine Parker, Orlando Parra,
Julio Torres, Cesar Torres, Joe Torres, Gilbert Toro Torres Jr.,
Latifa Hoskins, MD Shipan Hossein, Adem Hott, Christopher N. Howard,
Azinet Pudput, Tomas Puebla, Fidel I. Pulagren, Manuel Salvador Puma,
Arthur Lee Eldorado, Jacob J. Greenberg, Gary Greenberg, Robert Greenberger,
Adrian Phillips, Marlene Picon, Cindy Pacou, Dr. Brady Pierre-Louis Jr.,
Cesar Mauro Sarmiento Lopez, Emily Savitsky, William Billy Scanlon Jr., Arlene Schneidman.
This is WNYC FM HD and AM New York, WNJT FM 88.1 Trenton, WNJP 88.5 Sussex, WNJY 89.3 Netcong, and WNJO 90.3 Toms River. We are New York and New Jersey Public Radio. And here on The Brian Lehrer Show, you're listening to Reading Their Names. These are the names of more than 1,700 people in our community who died this year in the pandemic. And you're hearing the voices of over 400 WNYC listeners reading their names. This will conclude at about 11:25 or 11:30. Then we'll talk about the experience. Let's continue now.
Robert W. Barkhan, Robert Barley, Claudette Barr, Jacomina Barr Brown,
Winston Stephen Swan,
Kira Michelle Swartz, Troy Lee Sweeney, Daryl K. Sweeney,
Benny Au, Joseph Aufrichtig, Moshe Augenstein, Richard Austin Jr.,
Richard W. Chin, Rolando Chirinos, Ernie Chu, Mazak Chosen,
Nick Cordero, Kathy Cornejo, Roberto, quote, Meg BK, Korea, Martha Cortez.
Philip Davis, Eddie Davis, Isaiah de la Torre, Onielo de Lucio,
Muhammad Ali Babul, Miguel Baez, Alfred Anthony Bafumi, Alfred Bagley,
Doris Kirkland, Louis J. Kirsch, Joseph M. Cassane, Fred Klein,
Lemuel Frazier, Carolyn Frazier, Winifred Fredericks, Willie Friedman,
Michael Armstrong, Jennifer Robin Arnold, Luz Maria Arocho Maldonado, Danielle Christine Arre,
Roy Drysdat, Stanley B. Dreyer, Nicole L. Durant, Donna Durkin,
Lennon Ricardo Lenny Fierro, Alan Aaron Finder, Wayne Fingal, Wayne R. Fingal,
Pietro Scarzo, Rita Scarzo, Peter Edward Schaefer, Benjamin Wolf Ben Schaefer,
Bibi Maimoon Nisha Khan, Maurice Kirby, Eli Klausner, John Knox,
Keith McDonald, Christopher B. McDonnell, Edwin McDowell, Maceo Ray McEady,
Arnella Juanico, Santos Juarez, Alba Giuliano, Joseph Yurzak,
Margaret Adam Norell, Benny Nastasi, Carlo Nathan, Wendell Navarro,
Winston Silvera, Robert Simon, Arlene Simon, Quincy Simpson,
Dr. James T. Goodrich, Emma Goolsby, Zelig Gottlieb, Dennis Goulding, Rafael Arciénegas, Everardo Arenas, Luis Arleo, Nyanya Armstrong,
Martin Flansbaum, Vicenta Flores, German Ramales Flores, Clementina Mora Flores,
Darren M. Santos Sr., Sandra Santos Vizcaíno, Shah J. Sarkar, Rita D. McLaughlin Sarlo,
Segundo Espiro Guaman, Edwin P. Guaman, Richard J. Guastella, Henry M. Gueron,
James Daniels III, William Kingshooter Daniels, Charisma Dargan, Badayu B. Das,
Samuel Akapov, Rashida Akhter, Jayed Alam, Tanasia Shakia Nene Alamo,
Natalia Rudnichenko, Diana Russell, Christopher M. Russo, Jackal Ryan,
Mordechai Mental Wider, Stephen Wiggins, Heidi Wilcox, Victoria Wilhelm,
Nestle Paul, Serge Paul,
Vicente Pavia, Daniel Pavadano Gulak,
Yesenia Maria Jimenez, Ronnie Jimeno, Betty Joblov, Christopher Allen Joe,
Michael N. Edelman, George Edelstein, Larry D. Edgeworth, John Henry Edinger,
Mary Margaret Minnerly, Rondeep S. Bobby Minhas, Lisa Louise Montanino, Timothy Olin Montgomery,
Arye Liebel Katz, Alexander Cowders, Sharon Kaufman, Carol May Kay,
Kwang Lu, Sylvia Lyons, Anna Lyrist, Esther Mack,
Beatrice B. Granberg, Miguel the Pasta King Grande, Beverly Rubach Gray, Aunt Jenny Graziano,
Rosa Serrano, Ernst Sevilla, Alberto Zanelli Sevilla,
Luis Eduardo Velasela, Zlatko Veleski, Grigorio Veles, Jose Veles,
Jonathan Adewumi, Alphonse Jr. Agovino, Luz Inez Agrazal, Romeo Ocampo, Romy Agtarap,
Germano Celant, Luis Joseph Selly, Marceta Centeno, Elian Centeno,
Abby Metzger, Alexander Myers, Ishak Maya, Stephen Michael,
David Blagrove, Julia Blancas, Keila Blank, Mattis Blum,
Carlos Torres, Hector Torres, Peter John Toso, Liam Tran,
Angela Zeman, Julio Chique, Maria Elena Sumi, Edwin Sunio,
Vanessa Sykes, DeRocher Sylvain, Sylvan Sylvester, Lucien Shapiro,
Luckner Benoit, Roxanne Bent, Matthew Berenguer, Charles Berenguer Jr.,
Janie Christensen, Jem Cristoforo, Ezard Christopher, Susan Chuang,
Janet J. Smith, Andrea Pedowitz Smith, Judith Smith, Ann Youngerman Smoller,
James Calder, Salvador Calderon, Carlos Calderon, Rodrigo Caleno,
Ming Wong, Jesus J. Wong, Dennis Anthony Wong Sang, Willie Wood,
Albert Mungan, Raina Zoe Mungan, Edward Mungan, Jorge Munoz,
Vivian Moss Vopel, Yosef Zundel Motson, Jamila A. Mohammed, Rustico Passig, Judith Patox, Patrick Patoir, Gregory Penny Sr.,
Jorge Saldarriega, Roman Guerrero Saldivar, William Sales, Jose Samaron,
Jose Miguel Yoyas Henriquez, Marianne Pichi Hurley, Bam Bang Helmanto, Gustavo Adolfo Salas Hernandez Sr.,
Oralia Palestino Diaz, Alberto Diaz, Yira Diaz, Venancio Benny Diaz,
Maurice Berger, Bayrish Berger, Margarita Bermudez,
Judith Evangeline Bernard.
Sung Trung, Sung Si Trung, Tenzing Tsering, Tadashi Tsufuro.
Miriam Homnick, Moshe Homnick, Raymond Ray Hubler, Sean Hook.
Miguel A. Sosa, Gloria Sosa, Thomas Soto, Rodney Sparrow.
Pablo Garcia, Karen Garvin, Marion M. Gavin, Ralph T. Gismondi.
Gilbert Constant, Nakum Cooper, Raymond Derrick, Ray Copeland, Lenore Corcoran.
Gerard Anderson, Kirby de Villiers, Armand Davignon, Terence Erlington, Lillian Eggstein.
Elias Lane, Mr. Lane Milton, Anthony Mioli, Blanca Castano Mero, Shirley Ann Miller.
Antonio Solomon, Emilio Sosa, Clarence Jesse Sunny Span, Anna Sparacino.
This is Brian Lehrer on WNYC, and you're listening to Reading Their Names. These are the names of 1,780 people in our community who died this year in the pandemic, and you're hearing the voices of over 400 WNYC listeners reading their names.
Jerry Ellen Bilas, Mostafizur Rahman Bipu, Raphael Leonard Black, Anna Blades,
Joseph Hirsch, Arthur L. Hirschman, Arthur Hirschkowitz, Shmuel Hawk,
Iris Milagros Cancel, Katia Maria Capellan, Sal Capitumino, Salvatore Capi Capazuca,
Maria Minerva Martinez, Carmen Martinez, Fortunato Martinez, Furman Martinez,
Margarita Ushka Vizqueri, Moises Valencia, Jamalet Valente, Ana Valerio,
Thomas Tommy Carney, Alex Carazana, Philippe Tito Carrion, Fran Carroll,
Jules G. Valestin, Luis Vanegas, Marcelino Vaquero Jr., Angel Vargas,
Andre Gonthier, Daniel M. Garcia, Mercedes Garcia, Olga Garcia,
Anthony Hernandez, Arturo Francisco Hernandez, Victor Vasquez Hernandez, Abigail Hernandez,
Cecilia Wang CC Shu, Juan Khan Shu, Manarul Huda, Mizra Huda,
Michael Tyson, Giyash Udin, Inam Udin, Dr. Mohammed Iftikhar Udin,
Oscar Rodriguez, Humberto Rodriguez, Aravelio Rodriguez, Steve J. Rodriguez,
Ruben Gutov, Marilo Guzman, Kofi Guillami, Shmuel Hakohen Miller,
Selma Estevez, Rosita Estenfil, Alfredo Estrada, Sabrina Alicia Eubanks,
Rosemary Sell, Sigfrido Sepulveda, Mervyn Serafin, Gabriel Jesus Marine Serna,
Marie Jacques,
Manuel R. Jara, Jessica Jaramillo, Morena Torres Tita Javinez, Sweet Sable Jeffries,
Julian Clyde Weston, John Patrick White,
Robert J. Wolfson, Fook Shong Wong,
Marie Petty Peter Petrossi, Barbara Pettaway, John Phillip.
Abraham Hakonen Romy Cohn, Miles Coker, Denise Colbert, Rodolfo Colon.
Ed Fold, Vincenzo Galina, Dr. J. Martin Galst.
Jesus Roman Melendez, Arsenio Feliz Mena, Dr. Frederick Mendelssohn, Nemesio Mendez,
William Frank, Willie Falong, Karen Felton, Tai Drin Feng, Lila A. Fenwick,
Madhvi Aya, Bibi Ayesha, Helene Alon, Ibrahima Ba,
Matthew F. Moore Jr., Carmen Nereida Muniz, Pedro Muniz, Robert Rob Nathan,
Mo the Butcher Albanese, Luis Albino, Angel Alejandro, Laborio Lee Alessi Jr.,
Dawn Worthington, Kenneth Wright, Calvin Wright, Dean Patrick Zesh,
Sadie Galliano, Ellie Galan, Erlin Flintstone Galarza, Fernando Galliano,
Blanca Blanquita Oliva Taborda, Bosesde Oluwaru, Benjamin Onodu, Franklin Ordonez,
Harold Mays, Edward Maza, Diane McCarran, Leonard McAuliffe,
Robert Edmund,
Wayne Edwards,
Deirdre Edwards,
Stephen Mark Edwards,
Maisel Finkenstein, David Finn, Dr. David Walter Finn, Herbert F. Herb Fisher,
Leland Jordan, Deborah C. Joseph Saunders, Joseph E. Joe Joyce, Johnny Joyner,
Kevin Frett, Abraham Shia Freund, Dr. Arthur Friedman, Rabbi Israel Friedman,
David Dave Edwards Jr., Saadia Aaron Price, Michael Elgin, Raphael Eli,
Leon Sandy Hodge, Dr. Donald B. Don Hoffman, Thomas J. Tommy Tom Hogan, Lionel Hogan,
Bucky Pizzarelli, Livette Plan, Gabriel Polanco, Jack Polamini,
Ruth M. Wera, Nicholas West, Kimberly Kim Wetzel, Curtis I. Whitted Jr.,
Vincent Sorelli, Vinnie Peanuts Sabatino, William Sacchi, Brian Sadler, Anand Sahadeo,
Jorge Erasmo Zambrano Espinoza, Angel Espinoza, Margaret Esselborn, Dr. Sunday Estequium,
Mohibur Rahman, Dr. Azizur Rahman, Atul Rahman Dealer, Richard Raines,
Kenneth Ricketts, Luis M. Rico, Leroy Riddick, Diane L. Rieger,
Jennifer Roman Hines, Ramon Roman, Omar Romero, Mireya Romero,
Antonia Reynoso, Luis Eduardo Riascos, Reverend Barbara Richardson, Judy Reichheimer,
Robert Thomas Faz, Nupu Fakruzman, Steve Falco, Stevanos Stefan Fariz,
Caridad Santiago, Marilu Lopez Santiago, Edwin Santiago, Ming Santo,
Augustin Salvador, Juan Sanabria, Pedro Sanchez, Julio Sanchez,
Tony Greer, Hilary Gregg, Claude Gregoire, John Jack Gregory,
Alejandro Bustamante, Dr. Julie Butler, John Butner, Michael Charles Byrne,
Ronald Vincent Waite, Elaine Walker, Ava Walker, Joshua Josh Walwork,
Hazel Pia Mijares, Everett Miles, Bruce B. Miley, Arturo Milan.
This is Brian Lehrer on WNYC, and yes, this is the Brian Lehrer Show, but what you're hearing today is reading their names, 445 WNYC listeners, reading the names of 1,780 members of our community who have died in this pandemic year. This is our attempt to hold space for the more than 25,000 people in our listening area who are gone, and for everyone who is grieving personal loss. Hold the space with us for a few minutes if you can, and if you can't, if it's too hard, we'll do it for you. Come back tomorrow.
Ralph Hasina, Girish Patel, Dr. Thomas Pachugalan, Reverend Narciso Patson,
Yossi Borenstein, Lorena Borjas, Michael Borland,
Romel Uceda, Lucius Ewan, Maria Fabricibi, Suzette Facey,
Janae Michelle Funches, Dr. Frank Gabrin, Mohammed Ghaffar, Marie Gagliano,
Dr. Tracy Belton, Tufan Benair, Carolyn Anna Benfante, Eloy Benitez,
Arnold Francis Obey, Magdalena Elizabeth Ocampo Franco, Carol Osera, Jose Ochoa,
Hazrat Ali, Shandakar Mossadegh, Ali Sadek, Nancy M. Allen, Michelle Allen,
Robert Cerruto, Arlene Saunders, Leonard Spordone, Jeffrey Allen Scalf,
Derek Braswell, Roberto Bravo, Melquides Paul Bravo, Joseph Brostek,
Frank Jefferson Bowman Jr., Bryson Kent Bowman, Dmitry Bozhovsky, Dominic J. Brancato,
Irene Weiss, Bernard Bernie Weissman, Clara Weiss, Jean Polsky White,
Michael Besser, Iqbal Haq Bouyen Prince, Claire Bien-Aimé, Reverend Harry Dean Bigby,
Martha Kalmanowicz, Sakina Kama, Dr. Steven Kamholtz, Bram Cantor Butler,
Wayne Steele, Antonio Steele, Eve Stein, Ralph Steinberg,
Kelly K. Wong, Luke James Workoff,
Fernando Zapata, Raymond Aber,
Maurice Lacey, Shuk Nareen Lakminarain, Yves Lefont, Emmanuel Lagada,
Yvette Sheffer, Yvonne Sherwell, Claudia Shirley, Edwin Shasta,
Nicholas A. Grieco, Eugene Griffin, Emma L. Griffin, Eric Grimes,
Teresa Estelle Morris, William T. Morris, Florencio Almazo Tio Maran, Lenosi Mosley,
Gilbert J. Torres, Jr., Tony Torres, Pedro Torres, Miguel Antonio Torres,
Santiago Castro, Henry Castro, Ulysses Castro, Calogero Castro Giovanni,
Arnolfo Dorville,
Martin John Dougie Douglas,
Reginald Dowdy,
Ricky Doughton Jr.,
Edith Ecker, Irving Engelson, Elsie Lopez Escobar, Michael Field,
Leona Cohen, Hal Stewart Cohen, Ruth Ann Cohen Akins, Romy Cohn,
Liaquat Mohammed, Pierre Moise, Hector Molina, Ephraim Molina Sr.,
Dorothy Ruth Alaji Yassin, Dr. Alfred Yaski, Rebecca Yee, Sonia Yetman,
Henry Grimes, Deborah Grimsley, Rabbi Leibel Groner, Harriet Honey Grossman,
Dr. Gary Sklar, Walter Scott, William Scott, Michael Skura,
Wilbur Daughtry, Thomas Bijou David, Horace Davis, Charlotte Davis,
Baruch Haviv, Eva Conrad Hawkins, Connie Jones Hawkins, William Hayes,
Irving Hoppenwasser, William E. Horner, David Horowitz, Israel Horowitz,